Hello again. All right, some real talk for a second. Have you ever caught yourself replaying something over and over again in your head and you know you're doing it, but you just can't stop? It could be something like a conversation from earlier, maybe a message that you sent or something someone said that just felt a little bit off. And now your brain's like, wait, what did they mean by that? Should I have said something different? Did I miss something? And it just loops and loops and loops and loops. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. That's the kind of overthinking that I'm referring to. And most people think that that means that they're anxious or overreacting or too much in their head. But honestly, that's usually not it. What's going on is that overthinking isn't random. Your brain doesn't just spin like that for fun. It's trying to land something concrete, something that sits well. And that's the piece that most people are missing naturally. So when your mind keeps going back to the same thing, it's usually because something about that thing didn't fully make sense or felt incomplete. The brain didn't have completion or closure. And, maybe the words didn't match the tone of the person. Maybe something felt off, but you couldn't quite explain why. Maybe part of you picked up on something and another part of you brushed it off. So now your brain's like, hold on, go back, check that again. And it keeps doing that over and over again until it feels like it can trust what it's seeing so it can send it into the file. And that's the loop. Not overthinking, unfinished business. It's unfinished thinking. And here's where people actually accidentally make it even worse. Okay? They try to shut it down. So stop thinking about it. Let it go. Move on. These are things we say to our brain, but the brain doesn't work like that. If something doesn't feel resolved, it doesn't just drop it. It keeps tapping you on the shoulder, more or less, again and again and again, that loop and loop and loop, until you either ignore it long enough or you actually look at it properly, which is much quicker, easier, and far more efficient. When you don't look at it, it gets louder. And that's when it starts feeling like anxiety and overwhelmedness or overwhelming. It just becomes mental exhaustion, because now you're not just thinking, you're looping without landing. And instead of trying to stop the thought in the future, here's something you can try. Slow it down and get specific. What exactly doesn't feel clear here is something you can ask yourself. Or what am I trying to figure out? What part of this isn't sitting right with me? It's not the whole situation that you're going to assess. It's just the part that your brain keeps circling around or recycling. Because once you can name that, something really interesting starts to happen. The loop that you've had going on starts to loosen up. Now, it doesn't loosen up, not instantly, but definitely noticeably, because now your brain isn't searching blindly anymore. It's actually processing something real. And that's what it was trying to do the whole time, right? So, that said, if your mind's been busy like that lately, don't rush to shut it down. There's usually a reason why it's staying open like that and busy. So get a little more curious about what it's trying to land. Because once you see that piece clearly, things tend to settle on their own. And when that starts happening, you'll notice that you don't have to fight your thoughts as much anymore. In fact, you'd simply understand them better. And that changes everything. All right, I'll leave that with you. Info is power. Ciao for now.